There's a version of Cinderella from Denmark where the fairy godmother is just a cute little dog. It also involves going to church instead of a ball, but going into church in style. A man dies, leaving his wife and 3 daughters, but before he dies, he divides up his stuff in his will. He leaves the oldest daughter his farm, the second daughter all his money, and the third daughter a dog and a lime tree. The third daughter's sad she kind of got the shaft, but the dog can talk and says to her, "Don't worry, you will not regret having us, me and the lime tree." On Sunday, the mom and the oldest sisters all dress in black and head off to church to mourn, but for some reason, like the dad, they seem to just hate the youngest daughter. Before leaving church, they abused her and told her to stay at home, and she weeps and cries like, "I want to go to church and mourn my father." The dog says, "Don't cry, you will go to church and I will sweep the floor with my tail, cleanse the tubs with my tongue, and stir the pot with my foot." Yummy. You go to the garden, knock on the lime tree, and you're just gonna get the finest black dress you ever saw. Then the tree will also give you a golden chariot. You'll be able to travel to the church and back without anyone seeing you. So our girl does this, and she gets a black silk dress, black gloves and shoes, and goes to the church looking gorgeous. I like to imagine her black gown looking something like this. And as soon as she walks into the church, everyone is like, "Oh, who is that gorgeous girl?" The king's son is at the service too, and he especially is like, "Ooh, who's the hottie?" But as soon as the service is over, she gets home in the gold carriage. When her family gets home, they don't recognize her like in most Cinderella stories, and she's back in her rags and they think she's cleaned the whole house and made the soup and stuff, but it was the dog. The next Sunday, the tree gives her a gorgeous white dress to wear, and again, the king's son is like, "Who is that beautiful woman?" There's a weird interlude where he's saying to himself, "How do I get a hold of that woman?" A random swineherd is standing nearby and he's like, "Hey, what do you give me if I tell you how to catch her?" And the prince just boxes him on the ears, I guess for being impertinent, and he's like, "All right, that's good enough payment. Here's what you do. You put pitch on the floor, like right under the pew where she sits." So just like in the German Cinderella, he's leaving a glue trap. The next Sunday, she shows up in a yellow dress with a gold tiara, gold shoes, and a gold ring. When she tries to leave, she loses one of the shoes in the pitch, but also the prince grabs her when she tries to get away and ends up ripping her ring off. Then the story gets even more interesting and different because he goes around town not just looking for who fits the slipper, but who fits the ring. And it kind of makes more sense that no one can do both. Some people fit the shoes, some the ring, but makes it a little more realistic. Like in the German Cinderella, the mother and older sisters all cut off parts of their feet to fit the shoe and wrap their wounds in tobacco leaves. I don't know if that's good or bad. But a magpie sitting on the garden wall says, "Look in the shoe, there's blood," and he does, and there is. When our girl comes before him, he's so grossed out by her appearance, he actually wishes she'd go away, but then the ring and shoe fit her. The magpie says, "Yes, she's the one," and he's like, "Okay, let's clean her up." And then they do, and he's like, "Oh, okay." So they get married, dig up the lime tree, and take it and the dog to the palace with them and live happily ever after. The dog was a very good boy.